We're all overrun with carbohydrates.
Yeah, totally.
And you just, like, carbohydrates make this big crash, the rise and the crash,
totally.
the rise and the crash. You stay flat if you eat like a primarily high protein, high fat diet.
Yeah.
Your body runs off ketosis, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I just have like steak and eggs, no bread or anything.
Yeah.
And,
it's great.
It's great, actually. It's a power up, I'd say.
People dismiss this whole carnivore diet thing because in our heads, there's a lot of propagandists that put this thing out there that animal agriculture is the #1 contributor to global warming.
They told you carbs were essential. Did they lie again? For decades, breakfast meant obedience. Cereal in a box, toast in a slot, juice from a carton. It wasn't nourishment, it was programming. But Joe Rogan wasn't raised to obey. When he swapped all that noise for steak and eggs, 30 days, no breaks, what he uncovered wasn't just physical clarity. It was ideological warfare. Joe Rogan doesn't follow diets. He dissects them. So when Elon Musk, a man launching rockets and fighting neural decay, casually mentioned he eats steak and eggs every morning, Rogan listened closely. It wasn't admiration. It was curiosity. And curiosity is dangerous in a world built on compliance. What if the key to unlocking performance wasn't a new supplement or meditation app, but a return to something ancient, a breakfast that powered warriors, not workers? Meat, fat, salt, clarity. So Rogan did what he always does. He ran the experiment on himself. For 30 days, his breakfast was stripped of modernity. No toast, no fruit, no filler, just steak, eggs, and discipline. And within days, the fog lifted. His energy didn't spike, it stabilized. His thoughts didn't scatter, they sharpened. And the hunger between meals? Gone. Because he wasn't running on sugar anymore. He was running on instinct. But what's truly in steak and eggs? Steak is rich in B12, iron, zinc, and creatine. It fuels red blood cell production and supports muscle repair. Eggs offer choline, lutein, and high-quality protein. Combined, they create a nutrient-dense, brain-enhancing superfood that delivers more satiety per calorie than most plant-based meals. Biochemically, this is no mystery. Carbohydrates flood your bloodstream with glucose. That glucose spikes your insulin. And the crash that follows? That's your body begging for the next hit. It's not food, it's a drug. According to the CDC, nearly 1 in 10 Americans has diabetes, and more than 1 in 3 are pre-diabetic, a condition linked almost entirely to chronically high blood sugar and insulin resistance, driven by excessive carbohydrate consumption. But fat and protein? They burn slowly. They support ketosis, a metabolic state where your body burns fat instead of carbs. Ketones feed your brain, stabilize your mood, and fuel endurance. No spikes, no crashes, no dependency. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Investigation showed that a ketogenic diet improved memory performance in older adults by nearly 20%. That's not just diet. That's cognitive liberation. The standard Western breakfast? It's engineered chaos. Cereal, orange juice, low-fat milk. A perfectly legal cocktail of blood sugar disruption. So, when Rogan switched to steak and eggs, he wasn't going high protein. He was breaking a system. Meet Michael Connelly, 44, former ultramarathoner. He spent years eating clean, greens, grains, and protein shakes. Still, he battled bloating, fatigue, brain fog. Doctors said it was age. Michael disagreed. So he did the unthinkable. He ate nothing but meat, eggs, and butter. Within a week, his digestion stabilized. His energy soared. He stopped needing naps. But what struck him most was his mind. It went silent. The anxiety, the restlessness, the background noise, gone. You don't realize how loud your body is, he said, until it shuts up. Rogan heard this story years before trying it himself. Back then, it sounded extreme. Now, it sounded inevitable. Let's stop calling it a diet. Let's call it what it is. Behavioral conditioning. The food pyramid? Created in the 1970s, right as processed grain industries exploded. Base your meals on carbs. they said. What they meant was, base your economy on wheat. Bread was never sacred. It was subsidized. According to the USDA, U.S. grain subsidies have totaled over $200 billion in the last 25 years, fueling a diet built not for health, but for industry. And while ancient humans fasted, hunted, and thrived, we were told to sip fruit juice from a straw and call it natural. But fruit juice is soda in a suit. And the sugar? It's not innocent. It hijacks dopamine. It drives dependency. It's not fuel. It's a leash. Rogan didn't need conspiracy theories. He just needed clarity. And within days of switching, he saw it. Carbs didn't fuel him. They fogged him. And worse, they made him need them.
Nowadays, it's like you have to say that we have to eat less meat.
No,
that meat is bad.
We can totally eat as much meat as you want. It's not going to make a difference.
Sing it. Sing it. Tell
Yes.
the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And if somebody says it does make a difference, I'm like, how will you measure it? And if you can't even measure it, then it's bullshit.
Ask yourself, who benefits from your carb addiction? Big cereal? Big pharma? Big energy drinks? And behind them all, big compliance. Because a society that eats carbs every 4 hours is a society that needs snacks, needs coffee, needs medications to treat the side effects of its own breakfast. According to the American Diabetes Association, the global cost of diabetes treatment is estimated to exceed $760 billion annually. That's not a health crisis. That's a business model. But a body in ketosis? It needs nothing. It wakes up, eats fat and protein, and runs clean. No crashes, no cravings. That kind of body doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't submit. It questions. And nothing terrifies a system of control more than someone who questions it with a clear mind. Jason Alvez wasn't a celebrity. He was a B-tier MMA fighter with a 3-4 record. But after a severe concussion in 2020, he noticed something terrifying. He couldn't remember simple words. He'd stare at the microwave and forget the word start. Doctors offered pills. Jason offered himself something else. Steak and eggs. No sugar, no bread, no exceptions. 1 month in, something changed. He described it like lights turning back on. His memory sharpened. His coordination improved. He slept deeper, trained harder, thought faster. It was like I'd been underwater for years, he said. And I finally came up for air. His results aren't unique. A 2021 study in Nutrients found that low-carb, high-fat diets improved cognitive recovery in traumatic brain injury patients. The brain doesn't just survive on fat, it thrives. Joe Rogan brought Jason onto the podcast months later, not because he was famous, but because he was free. On episode number 2223 of the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan sat across from Elon Musk as the billionaire quietly admitted he eats steak and eggs daily. Rogan didn't flinch. He nodded. He knew. In past episodes, he's defended the carnivore diet. He's interviewed doctors, soldiers, and CEOs who swear by it. And now, after 30 days of testing it himself, he didn't need convincing. He had the data, inside his own body, more energy, fewer cravings, 0 crashes. And the biggest change? Mental sovereignty. He felt like his thoughts were his own again. This isn't a diet, it's a declaration. To eat steak and eggs in the morning is to say, I refuse to be sedated by sugar. I reject the crashes. I reject the addiction. I don't want to be managed. I want to be alert. Because once you taste that clarity, once you feel what it means to run on pure ancestral fuel, there's no going back to boxed cereal and colored marshmallows. This is more than breakfast. It's rebellion on a plate.